let me summarize Twitch chat's predictions, and then we'll do mine. So chat have gone for 3 EU teams topping groups. Those are Queso, BDS, and Dig. I did actually expect you guys to predict Group A like this. This is not surprising, because Queso have been very impressive, and I think a lot of NA fans are falling in love with this team because they're just such an exciting team to watch. And yeah, FaZe didn't win a regional this time around, so this is kind of expected from chat. I think Group B was also expected across the board. I think, yeah, these two, I thought that's exactly what chat would predict. NRG beating Endpoint, beating Furia, beating Renegades. However, Group C, I was surprised that you guys didn't put G2 top of it. I thought you were going to put G2 top. You didn't. That's one of the things that I didn't expect. And then Group D, I wasn't sure what you were going to do with Space Station, Sandrock, Dig. I really didn't know if you guys were going to put Sandrock first or second, Space Station third or second, Dig second or first. I kind of thought it would be Sandrock, Dig winning, and if Sandrock aren't winning, they could be anywhere, first, second or third. I had Dig, like, I knew you guys would put Dig top 2, I knew you guys would put Space Station in the middle, but I thought you might put Sandrock first or second or third. I really didn't know. So this is yeah, tough one to predict. I think probably the most unpredictable group. We've also got the bracket predictions from chat. Surprising predictions here include, I suppose, the NRG over BDS. They're finally beating BDS. And they've also beaten Queso according to chat. So these two, although not surprising due to NRG's popularity, maybe surprising because BDS beat NRG 3 times in a row and Queso are super on fire right now. So yeah, NRG going all the way, actually getting a reverse, well, getting the bracket reset win after Queso reversed the bracket against them. You got Queso beating Dig twice. That's happened, I think, every time that they played this split, so fair play. Yeah, Dig beating G2. I wasn't sure if you, again, I thought you guys were going to put G2 higher, but you decided to put them in 5th, 6th. And Sandrock over FaZe, that one caught me off guard as well. Quite a lot of these I did not see coming. B1 Endpoint, yeah, I wasn't sure. That was kind of a 50-50 one. But yeah, decent predictions all around with NRG winning, 3 EU teams 2nd to 4th. Then we got G2, Sandrock, FaZe, V1. Rounding out the top 8 is actually 3 NA teams, 4 EU teams, and 1 Middle East team for chat, I think. Isn't it? No. Wait, what is it? I'm trying to count here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys have, yeah, no, sorry, 4 NA. So actually, a much better LAN than the Fall Major, according to Twitch chat here. Because remember, at the Fall Major, EU won it, and then NA only had 2 other teams in the top 8. Whereas here, having V1 and FaZe losing in this round is actually the same as making bracket after Swiss. So that's actually a decent result. Anybody would be quite happy with that. Well, anybody would be like, okay, we've at least got 8th. This is actually decent. It just looks worse because there's so many more rounds here compared to just losing in quarterfinals in Swiss. Ooh, did not mean to do that. Let me just undo. So yeah, NA doing really well in the Twitch chat LAN. Now anyway, let's get into my one. So starting off with Queso Detonator, you guys had them, let's pull up your one again. You had Queso beating Detonator 3-0. I agree. I think Queso are going to beat Detonator. Now, I told you guys at the start of the stream, I'm going to reiterate for anybody who missed it, I am going to try and make as many upsets as I can reasonably make. Because if the Fall Major taught me anything, it's to expect upsets. So any upset that I think is reasonable, I'm going to go for it. That's kind of a rule that I've set myself. However, I don't think that this one's reasonable, so I'm not going to go for it. But that leads perfectly into my next one. You guys have FaZe beating version 1. Which I would not consider an upset. I would consider version 1 beating FaZe to be an upset, so I'm thinking about it. Thinking about that one. Do we want to go for that one? Is it reasonable? Based on the fact that they just won regional number 3, you could say, yeah, that's a reasonable upset. But FaZe did look very good on LAN, and I think people are being too harsh on FaZe and Typical in particular. And also, I think, well, FaZe are perfect in groups, so I'm not going to go for this one. I think I'm going to go for FaZe beating version 1 3-2. I'm going to agree with Twitch chat once again. Because I don't think it's a reasonable enough prediction in my opinion. I think a lot of people would consider V1 a reasonable upset chance there, but I think FaZe, I rate FaZe really highly, and I'm going to put them over V1. Okay, let's go into Group B. You guys had NRG 3-1. I'm going to go NRG 3-2, and the reason for this is not because I think that Furia are going to win. Well, obviously, because I'm predicting them to lose. But because I think NRG will actually be nervous at the start of this LAN. I think that they're going to be nervous. I think they're going to need to warm up into it just like they did in the last one. And I think Furia are going to come out fast, no mercy, and yeah, maybe I think they're going to get game 1 and maybe game 3 or 4. Maybe just go 2 up. I don't know. I think NRG are going to win it, but I think that they're going to start the slower of the two teams. Now, Endpoint Renegades. Okay, I told you guys I'm going to make any reasonable upset that I can make. So Endpoint, you guys had them beating Renegades 3-1. I'm going to back the repeat. You know, Endpoint have drawn their nemesis here. They are not going to like this matchup one bit. Obviously, some people are going to call it the chance for redemption, chance for revenge. But really, this is just another chance for Renegades to put a dent in Endpoint's pride. Endpoint are not confident in this kind of matchup. They would rather play against a team that come at them so that they can counterattack them. Renegades are kind of just like waiting for their opportunities. They're like, they're calm. We saw that so many times. They're calm when they play. Struggle more when teams like just blast them with mechanics. And Endpoint, yeah, they've got Seiko, but yeah, I back Renegades. A nightmare first matchup for Endpoint, I might add. Absolute nightmare. They would have much rather faced maybe a SAM team, maybe even Sandrock round 1, to be honest. Like, you don't want to play an OCE team round 1 and just have that awkward matchup and just when you're getting used to the stage, whatever stage they've got them on. Yeah, Endpoint didn't look good in the first time. The exact same round 1 match. If this was a round 2 or 3 match, I would predict Endpoint to win it, but it's not. It's round 1, so I think it's reasonable to predict them to lose. Right. G2 EG. You guys had G2 winning 3-1. I disagree. I think EG are going to win this. I think this is another terrible round 1 match for G2. I told you guys going into the Fall Major that I don't like G2 in the first round against Sandrock. I thought that was kind of a nightmare match for them, round 1. I feel like EG is another nightmare round 1 match. Round 1, we're going to see the most nerves out of all the teams. The most nerves. That's why I think Furia versus NRG will be close. That's why I think Endpoint have a real shot at losing this. They've got to really be careful. That's why I think G2, if this was in a later round, I could have them beating EG, but round 1, no pressure on EG. They're chilling. They're just happy that they went to the LAN. They're calm. G2, so much pressure on them. They have pressure to prove that the roster move was correct. To prove that the Fall Major was just an anomaly. So many fans and so many people calling this team to do well. Yeah, I think that they might lose this one round 1. But BDS, I don't think they're going to lose. I think they're probably just going to take this 3-0. I think BDS are just too good against teams like Team Secret. Secret are good though. They're actually pretty good. But BDS they're better. Let's just say they're better. EU bias coming out that NA's left the chat. NA's not left the chat. NA's all here. They're all here to witness this. Okay, next round. You guys had, what did you have again? You guys had Dig beating Space Station 3-1. Chat. I disagree. I think Space Station are going to come out and win. I think they're going to come out and win against Dignitas. How about that? You didn't see that one coming. I'm really going to flip this one around for what you guys expect. You guys are never going to see this these predictions coming. I think Space Station have got a real shot here. Dignitas have not been consistent in the group stage at all. Space Station haven't either, but Dig are the favorites in this match. You guys think they're going to win. Everybody thinks they're going to win. No pressure on SSG at all. Lots of pressure on Dig to perform and kind of repeat that Swiss stage from Fall. Yeah, I don't know. I think that they're... Yeah, I think they're going to get Daniel. I think Daniel's going to come out and... yeah, he's going to show everybody what's up. See, I've got Space Station winning their opening match. I want to reiterate though, this match, and this match, I've predicted 3 upsets. I think if they were in round 2 or 3, I wouldn't have gone for any of the upsets, just to clarify. It's only because they're round 1 that I think that there is a validity to this. Okay, Sandrock, I think they're going to 3-0 Pioneers. I just think Sandrock are too good there. So okay, back to Group A. You guys agreed with me on the Sandrock Pioneers. You guys had Queso 3-1ing version 1. I think this is a... some people will think this is good for Queso to start against Verdi. And it could be. It could turn out to be great. It could just, amp up their confidence. They might go into the V1 series feeling phenomenal. V1 might be rough after losing the phase. I'm going to go against the grain again. I'm going to give this one a V1. I'm not just doing this for the memes. I think Queso will have a hiccup in the group somewhere. And I think it could be against V1. I really do. Because Queso, when they look at this group, they're going to be thinking, right, we've got to beat FaZe. FaZe are the threat here. But actually, I think they're going to... V1 could be underestimated. And Queso have dropped some groups matches to teams that they probably shouldn't be dropping to. In Regional 3 in particular, Regional, they just won. Queso dropped 2 series. And they needed to reverse sweep twice, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just actually fact check myself on that one. Regional 3. Let me pull it up. Yeah, Queso lost to Guild. They lost to 0-0 Nation. And then they needed to reverse sweep Vitality in order to not go 0-3 in the group. And then they needed to reverse sweep Williams Resolve in round 1 of the lower bracket. Here, if you don't believe me, there it is, Queso. 3rd in Group C. They went on to win the event. They, made a bracket run, but they're not as consistent in groups as people would think. I think they might underestimate V1, especially if V1 lose to FaZe. Okay. FaZe Detonator 3-0. I think you guys had... Yeah, you guys did have 3-0. And General NRG Renegades, you had a 3-1. I think I agree. I'm going to use the 1 here to indicate that I think Renegades, yeah, they think they could take a game, but I don't think you're going to get more than a game. I think NRG swept Ground Zero at the Fall Major, but Renegades, I think, have a little bit more unpredictability about them than Ground Zero, so I think they could maybe take a game against NRG. NRG might just sit back, not really do enough in one of the games, and then end up losing a tight scoring game. But then for the rest of the series, they're going to be like, okay, let's actually just out-mechanic these guys because we can't let them do that again. And now, you guys had Endpoint beating Furia. I hate to agree, but I think I agree. I don't see Sam doing well against EU. I just don't. I think Sam have upset potential against NA. Against EU, I think the upset potential is much lower. You guys might not like that, but I think it's just true. I think... yeah, I don't like the Sam matchup against EU because Sam is like, I just think a Sandrock Gaming that aren't quite as refined, and EU has played against SRG. They played against Middle East players, so Sam is just like a little bit behind Middle East in my opinion, with a very like similar playstyle, not as good defensively. However, yeah, I think Endpoint are going to be fine. All right. You guys had G2 3-1ing Secret. I think I agree there. Do we give Secret 1 or 2? I think we just give them 1. 2 would be not fair on G2. Because although I think that they're going to come out and have a nervy first match, I think that they're going to pull themselves together this time. I think G2 are not going to bomb out like they did. They did lose to Furia 3-2 after being 2-1 up in Fall Major. I don't think Secret are quite on the level of Furia, however, and I think that G2 will be above their Fall Major level. I don't think they're going to be a contender to win the event, but I do think that they're going to be above their Fall Major level. So I think they're going to 3-1 this. Now BDS, they're BDS. I think EG could take a game off them. In fact, EG, this is a difficult series to predict because BDS are, they're the Fall Major champions. They're clearly one of the top 3 in Europe. And EG are not. They're number 5. But yeah, BDS do occasionally have their off days. I just don't think it'll be against EG in groups, though. I don't see it. Now, Dignitas Pioneers. Do I give Pioneers a game, chat? No. No, I don't. Did you guys? I don't think you did either, if I remember correctly. No, you didn't. And then Sandrock Space Station. I was really curious to watch this match. I'm glad that we get to see it. I heard Rettles talking about this, and it makes me think that Sandrock are going to have the edge. I think Sandrock will beat SSG, because I don't think SSG want this matchup. And, coming off a Dig win, Some people might be like, that's all the confidence SSG need. They're just going to ride that wave for the rest of the event. But I don't know. I think that might suddenly take away an edge for SSG. I think it's an edge for SSG to think that they're the underdogs and to go in without putting that pressure on themselves. But if they beat Dig, they'll be like, oh my goodness, guys, we can actually win this group. We beat Dignitas. We can win the group. We're top 6. That's, I think, the worst thing to happen to SSG. I think the moment that they start thinking about that is bad. So I think Sandrock are going to beat them. Okay. That is exactly what you guys said as well. Actually, 3-2. Change endpoint Renegades. It should be the other way around. No, I've got it 3-2 for Renegades, man. Round 1. I'm predicting a lot of upsets in round 1, in case you didn't notice, because I think round 1 is where the upsets happen. Okay, Queso versus FaZe. I think you guys went for 3-2, didn't you? Yeah, I think I agree, to be honest. I think we're going to get... and you guys went 3-1 here. I'm going 3-0. I'm not giving Detonator a game. I'm sorry. What does that do now? Ooh! We get the FaZe versus Queso tiebreaker. I want to see actually what happens. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I was curious because it said +3, +3, +3. Is that a seeding tiebreaker? Why are V1 at the bottom here? Is that because of seeding? I think it is. I think that's initial seeding, isn't it? Oh my. Imagine if that happens. Oh, I don't want that to happen. That would be terrible. See, I'm changing this. Initial seeding as a tiebreaker would be so scuffed. Like, it's there, but it will never happen. I mean, the likelihood of it happening is so low. How did it... I don't know how I ended up making it happen. I'm going to check. I don't want that. I don't want a seeding tiebreaker. Let's go for this instead. This is more interesting. Yeah, the tiebreakers are in 3-way ties. The game win-loss differential for the whole group is used. So let me put it back here so you can see. So the game win-loss differential is +3 for everybody. So they're all still tied. The next tiebreaker is game win-loss differential between the tied teams, which is still tied because I made all of their matches 3-2. So it's still tied. So we need to change one of those or else it's going to be a tiebreaker. And the one that I would change would be this. Because I do think this is going to game 5 and I do think this is going to game 5. But I think Queso might just... Yeah, I think they might just 3-1 FaZe. So I'm going to have version 1 second. That's different. You guys had the obvious outcome. I'm going to go for the 3-way tie in Group A. And we're going to come back to that tiebreaker in a bit. We're going to come back to that one. V1, you think V1 only take 1 from FaZe? Yeah, you can think that. I think this one's going to game 5. I think we're opening up Group A with a game 5 stunner between FaZe and V1. That's what I'm thinking. But I do think I'm predicting 3-way tie here and everybody 3-0's Detonator. That's my Group A prediction. Wow, I can't believe that we nearly had that +3 across the board. That would suck. That would be terrible. Right, Group B, NRG, Endpoint. You guys had NRG beating Endpoint 3-2. I'm going to go the other way on it. I'm going to say Endpoint 3-2 NRG. They did it. A lot of these results are the same, actually. We had this result in Swiss at the Fall Major. We had this result in Swiss at the Fall Major. I'm gonna back Endpoint to bounce back here. They start terribly, and I think they're gonna bounce back. And then Renegades Furia. I don't believe in Renegades being able to repeat this one. I talked about this in my stream yesterday, but I just don't. I think Furia are gonna win this, and I think they're gonna get their revenge with a 3-0. So, oh, we get a rematch here. Actually, we get the double rematch. That's pretty cool. So we get 2 rematches. Well, we'll come back to that in a bit. We've got Furia Renegades again and Endpoint NRG again. That is pretty cool, actually. All right. These groups are so much more interesting than your guys' groups. Look how many tiebreakers I've got. This is miles better. Right, maximum drama. Johnny making the bracket maximum drama. I always do. Like, every time. I always do. But still realistic. Hey, I went for more drama than your guys' bracket for the fall, and I still had a more accurate bracket than you guys. You guys went for the boring, like, NA fanboy outcomes, and you weren't even close. Right, G2 BDS. I think BDS are going to win this one. I think it would be we got to stay accurate here. I don't see G2 winning, but we'll give them a 2. I think they're going to make it interesting. And then Secret EG. I don't think that Sam's going to do well against EU, but since the scores don't matter because we have gone for the standard group here, I'll give Secret a 2. I think Secret are actually going to take some games. I think they're going to look good in their losses, but I do think that they're going to go 0-3 in this group. But I'll say it again. I think that they're going to look good, and people are going to be impressed by Secret. They're just in the group of death, so unlucky. Right. Dignitas SRG. You guys had Dignitas winning. I completely agree. In fact, I think I would even agree on score. I think it's either 3-2 or 3-1. I think 3-2. We're going for another tie at the top. And Pioneers, second seed from OCE. I don't think they're going to be enough to beat Space Station. I think they could take a game, just like I think Renegades could take a game off NRG. What does that do now? Oh, I like that 3-way tie. So we got 2 3-way ties. I actually like how they're turning out as well. I like this a lot. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty sick. And actually, I don't think it would have changed anything if I made this a 0, because initial seed would have had Space Station at the bottom anyway. So I don't feel too bad about like kindly giving Pioneers a win there. But okay, we'll come to tiebreakers in a second. But I'm eliminating Apex Detonator 09. Renegades and Furia have a tiebreaker for bottom. I've got Secret 3 and 9. Because I think they're gonna take some games here, impress a lot of people, but ultimately go 0-3 because they're in the group of death. And Pioneers also second group of death. I think they're going 1 and 9. Ooh, yeah, Pioneers have some just nasty teams to go up against. Like there's some teams that you just really don't want to play when you're looking to pick up some nice points at the bottom or nice games. And those teams are teams like Sandrock, Dig, BDS. Teams that just once they get rolling, they don't stop. They just keep dominating. They don't stop attacking. You know, teams like NRG, they can get sweeps, but they also sometimes go into a little bit of a let's just, you know, dial it back a little bit because we're winning this series 2-0, so let's just calmly win game 3, and then they lose game 3, and they're like, okay, actually let's go and win game 4, and win it, and not just try not to lose. You know, I think that the teams that don't ever settle back into that let's just try not to lose mentality, or BDS, Dig and Sandrock, they just try and win. They don't stop trying to win by force. That's not what you want to go up against if you're a team like Secret or Pioneers. So anyway, tiebreaker matchups. Queso v1. I had v1 beating Queso. I do think Queso will avenge that. I do. We'll go game 5. Why not? I think, yeah, game 5. But I do think Queso will avenge that. But I just, the way I see this is I think Queso will have a hiccup and then win the group anyway. That's the way I see this happening. Because I think it'll probably be an interesting tie of some sorts. Furia Renegades. Will Renegades get their revenge? I can't say that they will. However, I will make it a little bit more interesting. I'm going to give them, I'm going to say 3-1. I'm sorry, Renegades, but I've been backing Furia. I need to keep backing Furia. You know, yesterday I was streaming my power rankings for the LAN. I put Furia 9th in power rankings. So I've got to back them to beat Renegades here. I've got to back them to get their revenge. Yeah, because I've been one of the people saying that Furia underperformed at fall. You know, I can't then eliminate them. So I'm staying consistent here. NRG, Endpoint. Endpoint, I've got beating NRG here. Will NRG avenge that? You know me. As if I was ever going to let NRG avenge that. Nah, I'm joking. Of course I am. Of course NRG avenge it. 3-2. NRG, if they ever showed something at the Fall Major, is that they have guts. It's that they have determination. And it's that they have the ability to come back from a bad start in a LAN. And this isn't even that bad of a start, going 2-1 in the group, losing game 5 to Endpoint. That's not bad. They get to go again, and they come out on top this time. They don't miss an open net in game 5. So I've got Queso and NRG. A little bit of hiccups, but eventually they do top the groups. And I think I've got Group B, same standings as yours. I've got V1 and phase flipped. Okay. Group C, no tiebreakers needed. Group D, do I think Sandrock will get their revenge? I don't think so. I think Dig are going to have a good matchup against them. But we'll put that 5 again. I think it'll be good games, but I do think Dig will have the edge there against SRG. So, drum roll please. Let's take a look at the bracket. Oh my. Okay. Okay, this is pretty hype. Endpoint phase rematch. NRG BDS rematch. Sandrock G2 rematch. That is a pretty pog bracket. Oh my. I'm definitely hoping my bracket happens. Let's compare it to your guys' bracket. Yeah, you guys just had like lots of 3 NA teams at endpoint. And then this was a bit of a mixed side. That's kind of a fun bracket. But we have the exact same upper bracket actually. Same upper bracket to the T. So that's, you know, I agree with your predictions a lot of the time. I don't think Twitch chat predictions were bad at all. But here's mine. Endpoint phase. Will Endpoint get their revenge? Ooh, I really thought I would have Endpoint finishing top 8 here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to back FaZe to beat Endpoint again, because I think FaZe are going to do well in the Winter Major, simply. I thought I was going to have Endpoint top 8, but the fact that I've got FaZe losing on a tiebreak in Group A has an early run-in with FaZe for Endpoint. And that's just sometimes what happens in these brackets. Sometimes two teams that you thought you were going to put the top 8 run into each other, and you have to eliminate one of them. Space Station EG. Ooh, Space Station EG. That's an interesting one, actually. Because Space Station, I don't think they're going to be consistent to this LAN. I think they're going to get some big wins, but I also don't think they're going to be consistent. EG, I think that they are going to look very competitive in every series, but I think, you know, I think they're going to be more consistent, but I don't think they're going to get those, you know. Actually, no, I had EG beating G2 Open in the tournament. So yeah, maybe I think these two teams could be kind of close. Very close, actually. That's a tough one. You guys didn't have EG Space Station, did you? No, you guys had Space Station G2. So you didn't have to think about this one. I think I'll go Space Station on this one. I think I will. Because I think this isn't on the... This is on day 3 of the event, if I'm not mistaken. This isn't a crowd. Oh, it's not a crowd. Maybe not then. Nah, I'll go SSG. I think, yeah. I think SSG will take it in 5. So these are going to be close, but I think I like FaZe over Endpoint in particular. I would have actually, FaZe and Endpoint in bracket, I would have put ahead of both SSG and EG, but they're just not on, that's not how the matchups went. So instead we've got SSG, EG. Yeah, I'm going to go SSG in 5. SSG in 5. Okay, version 1 Furia. I am going to back Furia. I think Furia are going to have a good LAN. Yeah. What's Portuguese for vamos? Another game 5. All game 5s in the lower round 1. Vamo? Is it still Vamo? Oh no, wait, Corelli's right. It's Bora, isn't it? Bora. I thought it was Bora. Yeah, I remember reading that somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna go Furia here. And now Sandrock G2. Do G2 get the revenge? I don't think so. I think this is a nightmare bracket draw for them. Pressure's on. You're against Sandrock, who don't know what pressure means. And do G2 get a better result this time? I think they do. I don't think they get swept. Do they make it a game 5? I think it's going to be 3-1. I think Sandrock are just going to 3-1 them. Yeah, G2 and Endpoint are the victims of just... These group draws are just not good for G2. And Endpoint victims of like the Group A chaos. But yeah, I think like although FaZe are, I think they're gonna do well in bracket here. I back FaZe to do well in bracket, even though I had them third in groups. All right, FaZe Space Station. Space Station beat FaZe in Regional 1. I think that FaZe have avenged that. And yeah, I definitely go FaZe on this one. In fact, I think it's going to be 3-1. I'm going to use 3-1s to indicate that I'm pretty confident about it. 3-2s are a little closer in bracket, since like in group stage, the scoreline actually matters. So I was thinking very a lot harder about that, but now the scoreline doesn't matter. So I'll use that to just indicate how close I think a match is going to be. And I think a 3-1 FaZe take it. Sandrock Furia, we saw this match at Sweden. That would be a really cool rematch to see. I think Sandrock are going to take it though. And I think that one will be, just to switch things up. I think it'll be a 3-0. I think Sandrock are just would beat them again if they play. I think they're just going to win. Sandrock have started off both the series that they played against Furia extremely well. And Furia came back to beat Sandrock in Rettle's tournament, and they got one game in the fall major against Sandrock after going down 2-0 in ridiculously one-sided games. Yeah, Sandrock might just have taken their foot off the gas a little bit in those series. I don't think they're going to do that again. I think they're just going to stay focused, and yeah, I think they just beat Furia. Okay, upper semis. You guys had Queso 4-2 over Dig, and I actually thought about this because this was an easy one to see coming. Because when I saw the groups, I was like, oh boy, we're going to get Queso Dig and NRG BDS. That's kind of hype, but also might be bad for NRG. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if the group format or the group order affects the upper semis. Will NRG get help from one of the teams here, eliminating a team that they really don't want to play against? I mean, who do you guys think NRG would rather avoid out of these three EU powerhouses? Which one? You guys think BDS? Interesting. Anyway, I'm going to go Queso 4-2 over Dignitas. I think Queso are going to keep beating Dig. I don't think they've lost to Dig this split. I think they do really well against them. I think they're going to do it again. I'm using the 4-2 to indicate that I don't think it's going to be it's going to be competitive, but I think Queso are going to win. Yeah, 4-2 is convincing. It's not dominant like 4-1, and it's not a complete wash like 4-0, but it's convincing. I think Queso are going to be convincing. Dignitas will look good, but Queso will look better. Now, NRG BDS. Do NRG get their revenge? What do you guys think? Do NRG get the revenge? Well, actually, you already predicted this. You do. Now chat's all saying no. It's really an interesting one, because let me look at the winter regionals with you guys quickly. Regionals 1 and 2. This is regional 1. BDS top their group. They beat Endpoint. Then they get 4-0'd by Queso, 4-0'd by Dignitas on the right. Perfect sweep by Dig as well. They scored 2 goals against Queso. When things start to go bad for BDS, it can rapidly, go downhill. It's definitely a day-to-day thing for BDS. This time they beat Queso, and then the last day they just smashed Queso in the final and beat EG as well. So BDS, it really just depends what BDS show up. But I don't think it's, the fact that they beat NRG 3 times at the fall major, they look good on those days. They did not look good on the day that BDS played FaZe. I think if BDS played NRG on that day, they might have lost to NRG as well. I'm gonna say NRG get them this time. I think they're gonna get him. I think NRG are smart enough to realize that they didn't just lose because of luck in Sweden. I think that they can learn from that, and I think that they've got 3 losses to learn from there. NRG can definitely learn a lot there, so I'm gonna go NRG. They're consistent. Recently, BDS are not, and saying that BDS are gonna win this just because they won the fall major, I don't know. I think I've got to take more into account than just the fall major. We've had 6 regionals in NA and EU combined, and a whole lot more from the other regions as well coming into this. So I'm going to say NRG get the revenge. Now, Dignitas FaZe. I really hope we get to see this matchup. I really hope we get to see that one. Yeah, no, it's 4-3. I think it's going to be super close. Last time they played, NRG won 4-3, by the way. So that was close as well. Okay, Dignitas FaZe. I think both these teams are very mechanical, but I don't like FaZe in this matchup. I don't think FaZe are going to have a fun match against Dig. I feel like Dig, Queso, and BDS, if they're actually, playing good BDS instead of bad BDS. There really are 2 different BDSs, but yeah, BDS, Queso, Dig. I feel like the way that they all play will be very good against FaZe, and that's what I'm going to go for 2 here. Dig over FaZe. Yeah, I think FaZe are going to make top 6, but that's where it stops for me. And BDS, Sandrock. I think BDS will beat Sandrock. I think this is going to be close as well, but I'm going to give it to BDS. And these are the top 4 teams I had from my power rankings. And if nothing else, like, yeah, you should be able to get those top 4 into the top 4. Like, it's only before the top 4 that which side of the bracket you're on matters. Like, which side of the bracket you're on plays a factor down here in these rounds. But once you're in here, there's no sides of the bracket. You're just the top 4 is always the top 4. So as long as these guys didn't run into each other, I don't see anyone eliminating these 4 teams other than themselves. Sandrock and FaZe definitely I think Sandrock have a shot, probably a better shot at beating the top 4. I don't think FaZe would beat any of the top 4 actually, but I think Sandrock have a better chance of beating teams like NRG and Queso. I think they might have a decent chance against, but I don't think Sandrock are going to beat Dig or BDS. So that's why I'm going BDS here. It all depends on how the bracket ends up. This bracket, we got Sandrock 6th, equal with FaZe. Okay. Dig, BDS. I'm going to say Dig, and I'm going to say Dig convincingly. I'm going to give BDS a game, but Dig I think they've got a good match against BDS. I put BDS 4th in my power rankings yesterday because although I think they've got a good match against NRG, I still don't think it's like a dominant match. I don't think it's going to be as dominant as Fall against NRG. I think NRG have stayed consistent, whereas BDS are definitely up and down, with right now being down. And I don't like the logic of, oh well, BDS didn't look good coming into the Fall Major, therefore the fact that they don't look good now is a good thing. Nah, that's I can't get behind that logic. I just can't. Eventually I have to back the teams to look good. I just have to. So I'm going to back Dig over BDS. And then Queso NRG, you guys had NRG winning this. Upper bracket final. This is, of course, with a big crowd. Everybody's chanting, "Let's go, General, let's go." And Queso are going to be like, what is that? That's supposed to put us off? Comedy. They're going to win. Pure comedy. Like, that's not going to put anyone off. Like, oh, they booed us. Oh no. So anyway, Queso are going to be NRG. And then Dig NRG. Okay, this is a tougher one to predict because I think Dig could. I mean, they did choke a bit against Semper. Jack didn't have a good series in the Fall Major, and Scrub definitely choked the last goal against Semper, or rather the equalizer in the last game. So I could see that one being difficult. And no, I think if this had been in a different order. So yesterday, when I did my power rankings, I put NRG 2nd. If this was like just a straight up semi-final match, NRG versus Dig, I would be much more inclined to put NRG winning. I think like NRG's upper semi is a lot more likely to go well than their lower bracket final coming off a loss. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one because you play the start of the day and then Dignitas win, and now Dignitas are playing you off a win. I think in this match order, I'm going to give it to Dig. In this match order. But in a different match order, I would have given this to NRG. It all depends on the order that the matches happen in. And I think Dig, you're going to win that one. If they meet like this. But if they meet if literally their orders are reversed and it's Dig coming out of the upper bracket final and NRG coming through with lower bracket momentum, I think NRG win. Just want to reiterate that. I'm not, really picking one team over the other here. This is... I think this is like a coin flip match at the Fall Major right now. But based off everything I know, I feel like this is a coin flip late in the event. But yeah, whoever's coming in with that momentum, I think will have the edge. And I would have done the same if it was the other way around. So if the groups had been in a different order and it was Queso versus NRG here, and Dignitas versus BDS here, and it was Dignitas eliminating BDS to the lower bracket, and Queso eliminating NRG here, and then we had NRG versus FaZe. I would have predicted NRG over FaZe. BDS would still be here. I would have put my NRG over BDS that I put up here. I would have put that there, and then I'd put Queso over Dig here, and then I'd put NRG over Dig here. But because it's gone in a different order, because the groups are like this, I'm gonna go Dig, Queso final. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand? Because I know I'm speaking right now and a lot of people have already zoned out. They're just hearing white noise, PTSD. They're thinking, oh no, not another all EU grand final. But that is, you know, why yesterday I had NRG second in the power rankings, but I don't have them finishing second because power rankings aren't everything. It like the order that matches happen, where in a tournament matches happen, and specific matchups do make a difference. So that's why I don't. Yeah, I don't have this. I really like the group for Dig. I think it's a good group for them. So I back them to win that. Whereas, you know, before I saw the groups, before I knew what the groups were going to be, I was much more confident that NRG would win a group than Dignitas. When I see the groups, I'm like, actually, I like that group for Dignitas. That could have been a lot worse. Even though it's a group of death, I think that the matchups, I think Dig will have a good match against Sandrock and Pioneers and Space Station. They can definitely, you know, get a result there. I've got them losing it, but you know, it's not as bad as it could have been. This could be a much worse group for Dig. Okay, grand final. Of course, we go for the bracket reset. Maximum drama. Dignitas coming off a stunning win over NRG. No, we don't. I think Queso are just going to win it. I think Queso just beat Dig again. I think they just win. So I think that's how it's going to go down. I think Queso are going to win. No bracket reset nonsense. Dignitas second, NRG third. Bit of an unfortunate match order. I think it would have favored NRG to go to lower bracket earlier. I think if they go lowers off the upper bracket final, that's not going to help them. Because that's going to be like, boo, no. Oh no, double no. Instead of like, we lost. Okay, nice, we're against FaZe. Sick, we know how to beat these guys. You know? I feel like it's not the best. The order of the groups, like the position that teams are in the groups is not good for NRG. I don't think. I think it would favor NRG if they go and lose their upper semi-final instead of losing the upper bracket final. It might sound ridiculous, but I have more faith in NRG making the final after losing here than I do after they lose here. Because this is all happening in one day, you know? Tough to bounce back against teams this stacked. At least if you lose in one of these matches, you're against a team from here, not a team from here. You know, it's an easier opponent. Yeah, Johnny predicting EU #1 seed to win, so therefore BDS confirmed to win the event. Yeah, I guess that's how it's going to go down, isn't it? I guess that's how it's going to go down.